Chapter 21 Confession. In no time at all, it was a battlefield. Changelings were everywhere, and they found themselves at the mercy of the most powerful unicorn in existence, a pair of incredibly strong earth ponies, the captain of the royal guards, the princess of love, several royal guards, and Pinkie Pie. In this close quarters, almost no pony could tell what was going on. They just attacked whatever was black. Prince Blueblood ducked behind a chair in the lobby. He considered joining the fray, but common sense told him getting outside to alert more backup was the smarter move. Besides, he had always been more capable in a one-on-one battle. While he took shots at any changelings that attacked him first, he knew that when ganged up on, he was done. As he crawled for the exit to summon more troops, the battle raged. Twilight was firing as widely as she could, while still being careful not to strike any pony innocent. Applejack was making any pony who came within striking range of her regret it. Shining Armor was showing that his rank wasn't nepotism, and several royal guards who had been waiting on alert were pouring into the hotel. Applejack kicked at another changeling, causing it to give a shrill cry as it fell. She could keep it up. She could kick these varmints into next year, and keep every pony safe. There was no way these bugs were getting the better of her again. However, one thing happened that stopped her, but only for a split second. The Changeling Queen was sneaking through an entryway, trying to slip away from the battle. In a rage, Applejack moved forward, kicking and hitting any changelings that tried to stop her. By the time she had reached the exit, the Queen had already disappeared through the entryway. She followed into the darkened hall. "Hold it right there!" The Queen stopped. When she looked at Applejack, however, her face didn't show fear or anger, but amusement.
Well, well, Applejack. You're actually trying to stop me? That's so cute.
Applejack charged forward. The Queen summoned a shield, and the cow pony turned on a dime and kicked. The shield shattered. Chrysalis was shocked, but only for a moment. Applejack leapt at her, but the Queen's green glow enveloped her, stopping her in midair.
And here I thought you'd have more brains than to just come charging in like an animal.
Then she slammed Applejack into the ground.
That's what I get for assuming you have any brains.
"Let me go, you two-bit!" Chrysalis shot a beam out of her horn. The pain it caused Applejack was unbearable. She cried and wailed in agony until it stopped, and the Queen slammed her hoof onto her back.
No, I am a queen. You are a dirt farmer. I give you the orders.
Applejack tried to break away, but all it got her was further pressure from Chrysalis's hoof.
It's hilarious. The most useless of the bearers thinks she can stop me. The dumb muscle thinking she was the brains. It's sad.
"I'm not useless." The attempted protest got Applejack rolled onto her back. Chrysalis's hoof slammed down on her stomach, knocking the wind out of her. Tears filled her eyes as the hoof came twice more.
Yes, I guess you are good for something. Playing in the mud, being Twilight Sparkle's attack dog, or at least some pony gives you the chance to pretend you're worth something. Then you'll walk out on her without a second thought.
Stop! Applejack couldn't breathe, both from Chrysalis kicking the wind out of her and her tears which were starting to fall.
You know, the first time I met you, I laughed. And do you know why? It was because I felt the love you had for her. I had to laugh. A dumb little mud pony thinking she had a chance with a high-born pony like that. It was so pathetic. Like a dog begging for a scrap she couldn't hope to have.
Applejack's eyes were swimming in tears. She struggled, but it was becoming weaker and weaker.
You were so desperate to prove you were worth something, you latched on to me. Even as I was spitting in your face, so desperate you got right on your back and spread your hind legs for me like a...
Then a white blur slammed into Chrysalis's side. Applejack was too emotionally wrecked to even realize what had happened. She didn't see Princess Celestia use her horn to deliver a very long gash down Chrysalis's barrel. She didn't see the two royal guards trying to help her up. The pain, both emotional and physical, caused her to black out. Applejack awoke feeling like she had been stampeded over by every pony in Equestria. She was in the hospital, bandaged and broken, in more ways than one. She struggled to get up, but a hoof on her stopped her. Flinching, she turned to see Princess Celestia smiling warmly. Princess! By some miracle, she could speak, and it didn't hurt much. What happened? Where's Twilight? She's helping with the cleanup, Celestia spoke. You needn't worry. As soon as I got the message that Twilight was heading to Manhattan to confront Rarity, I went to try and stop her from blowing the operation. How long have I been out? Just a few hours, Celestia said. Then her expression turned dark. It seems Chrysalis learned how to inflict pain without truly hurting a pony. You had a few cracked bones, but it's nothing to an Earth pony. You'll be fine in a day or two. Applejack moaned. She noticed Celestia had a fold-out desk with several papers with her. Princess, why? I wanted to be here when you woke up, she said. She turned to a royal guard. Leave, and make sure no pony enters until I say so. The guard nodded, showing himself out. That done, Celestia turned her attention to Applejack once more. Applejack, before I could get to you, one of the guards overheard what Chrysalis said. I swore him to secrecy, do not worry, but I truly want to know. Do you have feelings for Twilight? The cowpony's heart caught in her throat. She looked at Celestia with a pained expression. Too tired and disoriented to even think of denying anything. She nodded. Yes. Celestia smiled, then placed a wing over Applejack in a hug. Oh, Applejack, you don't know how happy that makes me. The Earth Pony looked at the princess. Huh? You're happy? Celestia smiled. Of course I am. I love Twilight very much, and I've always hoped she'd find a suitable partner. You think I'm... Much to Applejack's shock, the princess leaned in and kissed her softly on the forehead. Applejack, do you truly believe any of the hurtful things Chrysalis said? Do you truly believe you're unworthy of my student's love? Applejack looked at herself. I have nothing I can give her. How about a partner who will be there for her when she needs some pony to lean on? A pony who is too stubborn to stop loving her when things get hard. Your love is enough. No, it's the most important thing. I've lived longer than any pony, and I guarantee you there is never enough love in this world. Any you offer is welcome. But, Were you thinking in material terms? Are you afraid you can't offer her any riches? Why worry about that? As my student, she could have anything she wanted. Material items are a non-issue. All she'd ever need is you. Believe me, you're more than enough. Applejack blushed. I guess, but I don't know. She had to stop to catch her breath. There has to be some pony who can treat her better. Some pony who knew her way around them fancy frou-frou things. No, Applejack. Celestia shook her head. What happened to that proud and stubborn pony I met after liberating my sister? You focus so much on what you don't have, and in many cases what you don't think you have, that you aren't focusing on what you do have. You're a bearer of an element of harmony, and I think you could just as easily have been chosen to wield loyalty and kindness as well. You are brave and compassionate, and you've always been there for those who need you. I'm very pleased such an exceptional mare has taken interest in my student. Applejack felt her face heat up. You'll have to forgive Luna. She meant well, but she forgets you must listen to a pony's problems before you can help. Now then, I'm going to send word to Twilight so you can tell her how you feel. Applejack blinked. What? Applejack, hiding your love serves no purpose. If she reciprocates, you're only denying yourself happiness. And if she doesn't, and yes, there is a chance she won't, you're delaying the needed healing process. It might hurt for a bit, but it's like pulling off a Band-Aid. The quicker you do it, the less pain. Applejack spluttered. But... She stopped. She couldn't argue. Celestia placed a hoof on her. Please, Applejack, I'm not asking for anything that isn't beneficial to you. Do you really think Twilight is one to just let friendship end? No. Celestia smiled, then gave her another kiss on the forehead. Then I'll summon her at once. Applejack gave a smile, one that did little to hide her fear. Then she looked down at herself and stopped. The rings? Yes. It seems they were a form of love magic that Cadence was familiar with. She got them off easily, and she assured me that there was nothing in them that would affect your mind. I've also had the wedding annulled, though I want you to keep quiet on that until I've had a chance to talk with you both. If this works out, I'll throw you a proper wedding. Applejack smiled. Could it be in my orchard? Celestia paused. It can. We can talk about it soon. For now, Twilight awaits. Twilight in shining armor hadn't had a moment this awkward since he had gone to her not long after the wedding to apologize for what had happened. Only here it was even worse. At least then there had been blame to share. Here he couldn't say Twilight had a share in it. So, as they walked down the hospital corridors, he struggled to speak. Twilight, don't Twily me, she snapped. For Celestia's sake, Shiny, I'm not a foal anymore. You can't go around chasing every pony I date. I can take care of myself. You know, a pony who can take care of herself doesn't get... Don't even, Twilight said. If one mistake destroyed every bit of credibility some pony had, you'd be back down to private right now. Shining Armor winced. Look, you're right. Running in like that was inexcusable. I'll apologize to Applejack as soon as I can. I'm sorry, really. Twilight stopped. Then she gave her brother a hug. Just be more careful next time, okay? Shining Armor hugged back. I promise. After it was over, Twilight went towards Applejack's room. Pleased, Shining Armor turned around. He found a large, red earth pony stallion blocking his way, flexing his muscles. Cadence was right behind him. I promised him, the alicorn said. Twilight entered Applejack's room. She was sitting there, looking at her with a worried expression of fear. Applejack. She smiled, giving her a gentle hug. Hey, Twi. Everything's fine, AJ. The changelings have been caught, the marriage is annulled, and the rings are off. Everything can go back to normal once we get back to Ponyville. Applejack started tearing up. No. Applejack? What's wrong? Twilight tilted her head. She placed a hoof on hers. No, Twilight's breath caught in her throat. Applejack, is this about what's been bothering you? Please, tell me. Applejack tried. She couldn't get the words out. She looked into Twilight's eyes. She had pretty eyes, and they were looking at her with an expression that was encouraging. No matter what you say, the eyes said, I'll be here for you. I don't want things to go back to normal. For Applejack, time seemed to stop. Twilight looked at her with an unreadable expression, trying to process the information, or maybe thinking of a way to turn her down. I don't understand, Applejack. What do you mean? Applejack blinked. Well, I'm not sure I really wanted those rings off. Silence again. Now it was all in the open. Huh? But wait! Realization was beginning to cross her features. So was a blush. Applejack, are you saying that you... Applejack took a deep breath, released it, and then spoke before her fear could catch up with her. Yes, Twi. I love you. I have for a long time. I was too afraid to tell you how I feel. It wasn't all the alcohol talking for me. I love you, Twilight Sparkle. Twilight sat in a daze. She started breathing heavily, her face red. And then she was crying. How? That wasn't the question Applejack had expected. She had expected why, or really. What do you mean? The only reason any pony shows any interest in me is for my social standing. I know you don't care about that, so how can you love me? Applejack was so stunned that any fear she had over this conversation was instantly forgotten. What? You really have to ask me that question? You're beautiful, Twi, and you're the sweetest mare I've ever seen. You're always trying to do what's right and doing right by others, even when it's hard. You've been there to help me, and not just against varmints like the Flimflam brothers, but against myself. I've seen you chase Spike into dragon-infested territory because you wanted to see him safe. You forgave Trixie after everything that happened. You forgave us every time we've let you down, and all you've asked is to be forgiven when it's the other way round. Twi, you're some pony that I'd have to be a fool not to love. Twilight looked at Applejack. For a few seconds, everything was silent except for a few soft sobs. Then, Twilight threw herself across the room, threw her forelegs around Applejack, and kissed her. Applejack was shocked, but kissed back, holding it for 10 seconds. Finally, the cow pony broke it off. Twi. Twilight kissed her again, then broke it. Twi. Twilight moved in. Twi, I'm really sore and you're crushing me. Twilight gave a yelp and released Applejack. The cow pony took a few deep breaths. Applejack, I am so sorry. Relax, Sugar Cube. It's the good kind of pain. She smiled. She was crying. Since I guess this means you like me back. Well, I'd like to give it a try. I'm sorry, Applejack. I shouldn't have done that. I'm just not used to ponies liking me. And now I might have ruined everything because I was an idiot and moved too fast before I was sure, and... Applejack placed a hoof against her chest. This actually got Twilight to stop and look at her. The cow pony smiled. Say you'll give me a chance, Twi. That's all I want. Yes, Applejack, I will give you a chance. I'll be your mare friend. Twilight actually squealed. I have a mare friend! Applejack just laughed. Well, we can thank Chrysalis for that at least. Twilight blinked, then realization struck her. The changelings weren't behind this. Huh? We put Chrysalis under lie detection, truth serums, and everything, but nothing came up. The changelings had nothing to do with this. Applejack just looked at her. Then, who did? Cadence looked around the hotel hallway, and when she was sure no pony was looking, she opened the door and went in. She crossed the suite and sat on the couch, where the priest was casually munching popcorn, his eyes fixed on the television screen. Absently, he offered some to her. She took it, proclaiming, Why are you still in that form? Oh, picky, he said, allowing the hoof holding the bowl to become a lion's paw. An eagle's talon reached in to grab another bite. The pair sat in silence as they watched Applejack and Twilight on the television screen, each giddy about their new relationship. As the purple pony leaned in for another kiss, Cadence and Discord hoof-bumped. To be continued.